Hi, this is Rachel Wynn with Survival of the Fatigued, and today I'm going to be giving some of my most important tips for surviving your long haul COVID that I wish someone had told me back when this all started for me. So enjoy. So a little bit about me. I've had severe chronic fatigue syndrome that's only been getting worse for about 10 years now. Also, I did have COVID. I worked in healthcare part-time. So back in February of 2020, before anyone knew to be scared of it, I got a very bad bout of COVID-19. And the problem with this was at the time, no one knew what it was. So I had that very badly. I used literally all of my sick leave and just took a ton of unpaid leave from work because it took forever to resolve. And ever since, I've been having more issues than the issues I had learned to deal with, that I've been dealing with. So I've been having a very, very bad time ever since, with things like rapid heart rate that I didn't used to have. The fatigue has gotten even worse, and it's just, I really feel for people that are just getting this and have no idea how to deal with it. So I figured what I can give to you is my very hard-earned lessons from having something like this for so long. There is actually a lot of science out there proving that long COVID is extremely similar to chronic fatigue syndrome, especially in the way that chronic fatigue syndrome is typically, I think 70% or more of the time, caused from a very bad viral infection. They're super similar, and I think I honestly have both, so I'm hoping this helps you. But I am not officially diagnosed, since I got COVID from working in healthcare long before there was a COVID test available. Even though I had every single symptom before they knew what the symptoms were, I'm not officially diagnosed with long COVID, just FYI. So I hope these help you. Here are the 6 tips that I have learned the hard way. Life tip number 1. No, you are not crazy. No, it is not all in your head. If you're like me, when I first started going to the doctors for these weird symptoms that were happening, every test was coming back normal. They still do, frankly. I've had every test in the book at least 4 times, at least. And everything has always come back completely normal. Am I completely normal? Oh, heck no. Oh, no. But it is real. This is very common. They don't tell you that. So, you know, your family and friends are going to tell you it's in your head, or you're becoming a hypochondriac. You're not. Who would want to live this way? Why would anyone want to be thought of this way? Why would you want to ruin your life and waste away? It makes 0 sense. And I don't think they're thinking it through to see that. The brain fog is real. The flare-ups are real. All of it is real. I used to have people tell me, oh, it must be so nice staying at home and not doing anything. Oh boy, did I have fun throwing that in their face during lockdown, because they hated it. And I said, oh, is it no fun when you can't do anything? Oh, are you bored out of your mind? Now imagine being in a ton of pain on top of that. Now imagine you watch everyone else doing fun things and you can't. Oh yeah, I had a great time during lockdown throwing that in everyone's face. Wasn't very, very Christian of me, but dang it, they finally understood. Here's life tip number 2. And that is, you're going to lose friends. You'll be really surprised, actually, who turns out to be a good friend. And who you thought was a good friend probably isn't your friend at all. It's amazing how that happened with me. I had hundreds of friends, but once I couldn't do what they wanted, I lost almost all of them. I think I have 3 left that actually turned out to be really good friends. And the funny thing is, none of them were the people I thought were really close friends. None of them were. So that is something that's extremely heartbreaking, but it's true. You are going to lose friends when you're being affected. And honestly, if they're forcing you to do things, if they're telling you it's in your head, they're not your friends. They're hurting you. and they don't care because then they get to do what they want. So those people are better left behind anyways. To make up for this, I highly, 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 highly recommend joining other social media support groups. Having other people going through the same thing. You're not the only one going through this hell. And that is life-saving in some situations, because it is extremely depressing as you go downhill and so disheartening. And so to have that community it can be life-saving. Do it before you even think you're that bad, just so you kind of see what's going on, and maybe you know what to expect when it does happen. Sign up. Just when you're searching for groups on Facebook, search chronic illness. And same thing with Instagram. Find a bunch of groups, join them all. It will help you a ton. Tip number 3, fire bad doctors. Seriously, guys, fire bad doctors. They will make you depressed. They will make everything harder. And there are good ones out there. There's a lot more out there now than there was when I first started. Let me tell you, they prevent you from trying new things. They make everything harder. If you can find a good doctor that's dealt with chronic fatigue and chronic illness patients previously, that's who you want to look for. Oh, and the interesting thing is, the bad doctors that want to tell you it's all in your head always manage to give you a bunch of prescriptions that only hurt you. Isn't that interesting? They might cover up the symptoms, but more than likely, they're just going to hurt you because those doctors want kickbacks from the prescription companies. So stay away from those doctors. Seriously, they will ruin your life. I'm speaking from experience. There are good doctors out there. They're just a little harder to find. And honestly, my advice, stay away from prescriptions as long as possible. Yes, some of them might help. Most of them mask your symptoms until the root cause gets bad enough that it's a million times worse and the prescriptions don't help anymore in the future. Not forever. I'm on 2 right now, but I'm also pretty much homebound, couchbound, bedridden half the time. Wait till you have to, is my advice, because they can cause their own issues that you didn't have before, and they might be permanent. Tip number 4. Okay, this one's hard for newbies. Listen to your body. Does your body say rest? You better rest. I don't care if you have things to do. I don't care if you need to go to work. If you don't rest, it will get worse. I'm not kidding. The less you listen to your body, the more it's going to pay you back. And the thing is, all those previous definitions you had in your head for what rest was, for what exercise was, for hitting the wall, those are all completely different now. Now, if you hit the wall, you're not even just going to be winded and then break through it. No, that wall's going to put you into a coma, and you're going to go back to start minus 2 spaces. And that's your new starting point. And the wall gets closer. Like, you really need to listen to your body. You really need to rest. Oh, I don't have time for it. Oh, I need money. This is going to affect you worse and worse the rest of your life. Do you really want to risk that? Because that's what I did. And I'm now homebound. The other thing with listening to your body, are you having gut issues from food now? Because the first thing that happened to me was gut issues, sudden weight gain, and just my joints really hurt. All signs of inflammation. I had to do an elimination diet before it was popular, before doctors ever recommended it. Now they kind of are. Figure out what your body's allergic to. Stop eating it. I don't care if it tastes good. Stop eating it. Because the longer your body's inflamed, the worse it's going to get, the harder it is to fix. I am at this point on an extreme carnivore diet where I eat nothing but red meat, salt, water, and a few spices and eggs. And that's because I literally can't eat anything else at this point without it hurting me severely. So make sure you listen to your body now. The best thing I can tell you, get on a strict paleo diet. That seems to be the one that works the best with everyone from all around the world. Make a daily routine to pace yourself. And when you're doing things, be very careful to stop when you feel tired. You want to heal, you want to recover. And by not listening to this and by not doing this, you're going to just screw yourself over. When I first started, I found a bunch of blogs of people who had chronic illness, and this was a long time ago. So the big thing was blogs at the time, not video blogs, regular blogs. They all kind of had 5 things in common, and one of them was routine. One of them was an anti-inflammatory diet of some sort, and there were a couple other things too. But those 2, I would say, are probably the most important. So make sure you rest, have a routine, anti-inflammatory diet. Super important. So tip number 5 is try everything. Do not listen to those people saying don't try things. Do not only rely on the doctors. Typically, the first 2 years, if you don't get cured within the first 2 years of symptoms happening, you're probably going to have a lifelong condition with it. That is just facts. There's a ton of science behind it. I'll have to find it and see if I can put it on here. But you've probably noticed, if you watched a lot of people's life stories about this, and you've probably noticed that all the people that claim to have cured fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, long COVID, all had it under 2 years. There's a reason for this. And I think it's because if you fix your body and the main root cause fast enough, your body has enough reserves to recover. Once you get past 2 years, the odds of recovering get less and less and less, and it actually can lower your life expectancy. Don't focus on that, but at the same time, try everything. Go to homeopaths, go to herbalists, go to Chinese medicine doctors, try everything. I really wish I had, because if I had gone to a homeopath, which I did later, that helped a lot, I probably would have been cured if I had done it within the first 2 years. Instead, I had to wait for the doctors to tell me they gave up on me. And then I did the herbalist thing, the homeopath thing, chiropractic, I tried everything. And it did help a lot. But at that point, I was so far gone. And my body was so messed up. I've never been able to shake it. Try everything. Really, don't ever quit. Do it. Tip 6 is grieving for your past life, for your past self, is 100% normal. The longer you have this, the worse off you get. You realize that previous person is gone and is not coming back. And to literally go through the grieving phases as if someone actually died is extremely common psychologically. You will go through an actual grieving process, and this is normal. Don't let anyone tell you it isn't. You're going to go through denial. You're going to go through self-isolation. You're going to have just bouts of anger about having this happen to you. Then there's bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. I went through these for myself because it was so hard to think that person I thought I was in my head was never going to be able to come back. There are a lot of therapists that specialize with people with chronic illness, and they've seen this. I highly recommend, if you really need it, find someone. The grieving process is real, but never quit. Keep going. And I just want you to know that that is real. That person might be gone, but you are still here and you do matter. It doesn't feel like it sometimes. Sometimes it feels like you're just barely alive, but you do matter. And I don't think you realize how much you matter. You know, a lot of people don't think they matter until they're gone. And then you see all the people around them are so affected. Don't let that happen to you. Find a therapist, realize it's normal, go through the stages, and eventually you'll come to an acceptance of it. And you may even find a new you that you didn't expect. It is possible, even having chronic illness. I hope these life tips helped. I hope some of you gain from it and are able to not have to go through as much hurt and hard knocks as I did to learn these. I'm hoping you listen the first time and don't pass it off as that wouldn't be you, or you don't need that yet, like I did with the people. I do hope it helps you. Thank you so much, and please give a like and maybe a subscribe. I'll try and drop more information and hints and stuff in the future. So thanks for listening. Ooh, where you going? You abandoning me? What the heck? You ready? You ready? You excited to be on camera? Ooh. To sherm.